Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever, and I found a movie! Today I'm going to be talking about Secret of the Pond. Secret of the Pond is a 1975 television release that I was unable to cover back in 2018 again. It was originally number 161. It obviously still is number 161, but I'm just covering it in full now. So shout out to Max, who found this for me, as he's my guy. As a reminder, I will not be covering what I've already covered, so if you want to see what I've already covered, watch the video. The link is down in the description. I will just be covering the things I was missing from before. So, the cinematography is by Leonard J South. Editing by Gordon D. Brenner. Music by Buddy Baker. And it's written by Calvin Clements Jr. I covered the big three lead actors in the previous video. The previous video came out April 30th, 2018. Let's talk about it. This had pretty decent coverage. I loved the shots of Ike climbing the tree. There were some super believable switch between daytime and nighttime. The foot reveal of Sam stalking Joey was super tense, super suspenseful, really creepy, really well done. I enjoyed that. Absolutely great L cuts. For those who don't know, an L cut is when you're like on a character, you're looking at them, and then another character starts speaking, but you don't leave that shot yet, and then you cut to the character that's speaking, or vice versa. The character that's speaking is on screen, and while they're still speaking, it cuts to the person, and you see the person's reaction. It's called an L because that's like the shape it would be as they overlap, you know? So those are really great. This music was very similar to the other films that came out around this time. It was super reminiscent about it. It just, again, took me right back. This is gonna surprise you, but this reminds me a lot about some other movies, like, the dad leaving his son, with an uncle for a month. That feels similar to, like, Sky's the Limit, where, like, it taking place around the pond and the pond is involved reminds me of, like, The Boy from Dead Man's Bayou or The Strange Monster of Strawberry Cove. You know, those films, very reminiscent. And also just, like, the content of the movie reminds me of it. The uncle, like, ruining his film, the setup of the boys' dad, Anthony Zerbe, always playing an alcoholic. He's also in Child of Glass as an alcoholic. You know, there's just, like, a lot of this that was really reminiscent, and then this movie's, like, kind of unhinged. Like, it's not, like, unhinged. The adults know more than Joey. Sharby had to kill Rufus in a fight. I'm curious to see if Sharby helps the boys or not throughout this. The dog gets injured, which is garbage. There's, like, little recaps, which are fun. The dialogue leaves a lot to be desired, which is not entirely surprising at all. The boys, like, living in fear of their dad is very real, and, like, the threat of, like, I'll tell Pap being, like, a very big threat because we understand the consequences. The guy's off his rocker. He's just out here with a shotgun all the time and just, like, crazy. Kids shooting birds, what a different time of life that was. The dog and otter scene is super stressful, but that entire sequence might go on a little too long, but it is an entire sequence without dialogue, which I really loved. I loved that kind of was like a big show not tell moment. Charlie, I was glad he was able to get up. I think that's the dog. This is just, I remember feeling, like, stressed because of Anthony Zerbe's character, and, you know, hoping everything turned out, especially for the boys who were Anthony Zerbe's sons. Or, like, was Anthony Zerbe's son? I don't fully remember. Don't yell at me. But it was enough to keep my attention and keep me involved. It wasn't, a documentary that I was kind of bored with, but there was, like, a big animal element, as usual, with the dog, the otter, I think there were gators or something in this. It was so fun to have Eric Shae and Eisenmann back. Eric Shae was in a handful of Disney movies back during this era, especially like the Whiz Kid movies, Carnival Caper, Mystery at Riverton, etc. Loved having him back. Ike Eisenmann, a lot of people know for Escape to Witch Mountain. It was awesome to have him back as well. He's got such, like, range coming through these movies. So it was just nice to be back with, like, actors that I recognized and watched in a lot of movies. My favorite part, that's tough because I don't remember. Maybe the dog ended up being okay. Least favorite part, anything with Anthony Zerbe. He is so convincing and good at being like a bad guy alcoholic. It like creeps me out and makes me very uncomfortable. Watch again? No. Recommend? Fine. It's another one if you're like watching Eric Shae and Eisenmann and all that kind of stuff. It's a good watch for that. That's everything I have for Secret of the Pond. My final rating is 5 ponds out of 10, or total movie count. The original movie count was 161, I think I said. No parent deaths or cry counts, I believe. No one really mentioned anything and nothing was seen or said on screen, so everything stays the same still. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials to find out what movie I'm watching when, and check out my website. My website's freaking cool. Do it. Do it. Join Patreon. I got tiers starting at just $1 every video week, early coupon code. No. Tiers will let daily trivia, monthly postcards, bonus content, etc., etc., etc. Go check it out. Buy merch. I don't think I sell this one anymore, but there is another Parent Death Toll that's classic, so go check it out. Until next time, comment, subscribe, and I'm charging your life, your video, and don't be Anthony Zerbe's character about it. Look at me finding all these films, and by me I mean Max. Thanks, Max.